Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to completely deconstruct one of the most intense and honestly polarizing combinations in the entire fitness world. We're talking about the Burpee deadlift couplet. We are pairing two of the absolutely most demanding exercises out there to see exactly what happens to the human body under extreme physiological stress.
So, here's the core question we are going to answer today. What actually happens to your biology when you mix high-velocity plyometrics, like the burpee, with heavy axial loading, like the deadlift? It's this fascinating collision of massive cardiovascular exhaustion and extreme mechanical tension, and the results are both incredible and, quite frankly, a little terrifying if not managed correctly.
Before we get into the heavy lifting, let's do a super quick burpee refresher. At its core, it's a 4-count movement. You squat down, kick back into a plank, return to the squat, and stand or jump up. It demands massive cardiovascular effort. Now, we've covered the deep mechanics and variations of this previously, so if you need a quick refresher, I highly advise you to pause this, go watch our Biomechanics of Burpee and Ultimate Burpee Ladder explainers, and then come right back. And before we go a step further, a very firm medical disclaimer. Because of the extreme nature of this couplet, you absolutely must consult a certified trainer or medical professional before attempting it.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, the ultimate conditioning couplet. Second, sagittal balance and dual limitation. Third, the massive EPOC afterburn. Fourth, central fatigue and injury risks. And finally, strategies for safe execution.
Section 1. The ultimate conditioning couplet. Let's take a look at why combining these two foundational movements creates a training stimulus like no other. Look, both the burpee and the deadlift are amazing independently, right? But combining them forces your body to rapidly adapt to completely opposing physical demands. You're taking a heavy, axial-loading movement that demands immense spinal stiffness and pairing it instantly with a high-velocity plyometric movement that demands agility and speed. This simultaneously taxes your metabolic, cardiovascular, and musculoskeletal systems all at the exact same time.
Moving into Section 2, sagittal balance and dual limitation. These are the biomechanical concepts that make this combination so uniquely brutal.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the perfect juxtaposition of front-to-back muscular engagement. We call this anterior-posterior sagittal balance. Standard fitness programs can sometimes overdevelop one side of the body, but here, the burpee heavily targets your anterior pushing muscles, your chest, front shoulders, triceps, quads, and your abdominal stabilizers. The deadlift, conversely, flips the script and targets the posterior pulling muscles, your erector spinae, glutes, hamstrings, and back. By rapidly alternating between them, you achieve a balanced neuromuscular fatigue that loads your entire kinetic chain from front to back.
But here's where the physiological shock really kicks in. The dual limitation. See, burpees are primarily limited by your cardiorespiratory capacity, your heart and lungs just maxing out. Deadlifts are limited by localized muscular fatigue and your spine's ability to actually stay rigid under load. So you're literally jumping from cardiovascular exhaustion straight into maximum neurological tension. Real-world high-intensity functional training workouts like Open 22.2 or the Gravedigger intentionally force athletes into this dynamic environment to drive massive improvements in aerobic capacity and absolute strength simultaneously. So why subject yourself to this kind of torture? Let's pivot to Section 3, the ultimate metabolic reward of surviving this couplet.
We're talking about EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Simply put, this is the afterburn. Because the intensity of this workout is so ridiculous, your body literally cannot supply oxygen fast enough while you're doing it. This creates a massive oxygen debt. After you finish, your body requires a highly elevated rate of oxygen consumption just to get back to its baseline resting state. Research indicates this elevated calorie burn can persist for hours, and in some studies, up to 38 hours after the workout ends. So yes, you're literally burning extra calories while just chilling on the couch the next day.
And this brilliantly illustrates the intense biological checklist your body has to complete during that afterburn phase. Your system goes into absolute overdrive to resynthesize ATP and creatine phosphate. It's furiously working to clear out lactic acid and convert it back to glycogen. It has to reoxygenate your myoglobin and hemoglobin, cool your core temperature down, and clear out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Because this couplet engages almost your entire skeletal muscle mass, the sheer scale of this metabolic perturbation is absolutely staggering.
But as with all powerful tools, there is a serious dark side. Let's shift our focus to Section 4, central fatigue, and the terrifying biomechanical injury risks involved.
When your cardiovascular system redlines, you experience something called exercise-induced central fatigue, or EICF. This is a state where your brain actually experiences a reduction in spinal-mediated reflexes and a decline in motor unit firing rates. Think about what that really means for a second. Your brain is actively struggling to send the right signals to your muscles, right as you're about to step up to a heavy barbell.
The source material puts it perfectly, and I want to read this directly. The human spine is a complex, multi-degree of freedom structure that relies on active muscle stiffness, precise neuromuscular recruitment, and spinal reflexes to maintain stability under load. When you are essentially fatigued from cranking out burpees, those precise spinal reflexes are severely compromised. Your body's internal protective mechanisms are basically knocked offline.
And that leads us directly to the horrifying Bananaback deadlift, because central fatigue degrades your joint proprioception, which is your ability to sense your body's position in space. You lose your structural rigidity. You step up to the bar completely gassed, fail to brace your core, and pull with severe, incredibly dangerous spinal flexion. When form breaks down like this under a heavy load, the risks of impact trauma, herniated discs, and severe muscle ruptures absolutely skyrocket.
Section 5. Strategies for safe execution. How do we actually get the benefits of this without getting a broken back? So the crucial point is implementing these 3 non-negotiable science-backed strategies. Number 1, strict load management. You must scale the deadlift weight dramatically to account for the fatigue generated by the burpees. Number 2, structured pacing. Do not redline your cardiovascular system during the burpees. Keep your heart rate manageable so your brain can actually still communicate with your spine. And number 3, movement modifications. If you're losing form, step back into the burpee plank instead of jumping. This preserves that vital core tension for the deadlift.
Let's quickly recap our core takeaways. This couplet achieves a highly unique anterior-posterior sagittal balance and triggers a massive calorie-torching EPOC afterburn. But it comes with a very high risk of exercise-induced central fatigue and spinal collapse. Always prioritize pacing and strict form over speed. Hey, if you found this helpful and want more science-backed deep dives into optimizing your training, please hit that like button and subscribe for our next explainer.
I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder today. Given the incredible physiological rewards versus the severe biomechanical dangers, is the ultimate metabolic afterburn really worth the risk of the Bananaback? Well, that's a calculation you and your coach are going to have to make. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.